What up, guys? Swift here, breaking down everything Chicago Bears related. We had another busy news day, as well as Family Fest at Soldier Field. Let's get right into it. Tevin Jenkins did some work at second team right tackle, taking Larry Borum's spot. Borum switched over to the left side and played left tackle with the second team. All reports on Tev was that he had a really good day today. This is interesting because they have kept Jenkins on the right side. It's good to see he's already back with the second team. Heading into Saturday's preseason action, it looks like Larry Borum is in position to be the swing tackle, with Borum and Jenkins manning the left and right tackle spots, respectively, for that second team. Once again, Braxton Jones, Cody Whitehair, Sam Mustipher, Michael Schofield, and Riley Reef were the first team. Like I mentioned in last night's video, I expect this to be our starting offensive line versus the Chiefs on Saturday. I expect things to possibly be shaken up after that, depending on how the line performs. The second team line from left to right was Larry Borum at left tackle, Lachavious Simmons at left guard, Doug Kramer at center, Jatari Carter at right guard, and Tevin Jenkins at right tackle. If anyone seems to have fallen out of favor here, for me, it seems like it's Zachary Thomas. I expected him to be in the mix with Jatari Carter for that right guard spot. He got some reps with the first team at left guard in minicamp, but he has been on the third team throughout training camp. The other three rookie offensive linemen all seem to be in battles for starting spots, but Zachary Thomas is not in position to battle for playing time at this point. I'll keep an eye on him in Saturday's action and see how he looks. Another wide receiver goes down. David Moore had to be carted off the field, and he looked like he was in pain. Just another blow to the wide receiver room.
Who's David Moore?
All right, let's stop. Not great news, although I didn't really expect him to make the roster. It felt to me like the Bears replaced David Moore when they drafted Velus Jones Jr. Darnell Mooney caught a beautiful one-handed pass down the sideline today. He was impressive. If I had to name a guy outside of Mooney, honestly, ESB or EQ has been the most consistent guy not named Darnell Mooney, especially with other guys going down. Daz Newsome finally came through and made some plays today and over the weekend. You have to take a note of that, of course. Honestly, our wide receiver room is a little underwhelming with all of the injuries. With so many injuries at the wide receiver position, I expect another move from Ryan Poles over the next few weeks. Now with Byron Pringle, N'Keal Harry, and David Moore all missing significant time, plus Velus Jones Jr. and Dante Pettis each missing a couple of practices, the depth of our receiver room is really being put to test. Tajay Sharp and Daz Newsome seem to be making the most of the opportunity so far. Equanimous St. Brown seems to be the guy closest to locking a roster spot down. Barring injury, I think EQ is almost a lock to open the season as a Bear. On the lighter side of things, my guy Herb Howard asked Coach Flus today if they were looking outside the organization for wide receiver help. Flus joked, "I was going to ask if you played wide receiver." This is one of the funniest moments from a Bears press conference that I remember in a while. Also, Herb, you didn't answer the question. How are your hands, man?
I was going to ask you, have you played receiver? Y'all are laughing. He's the only one not laughing.
Cole Kmet looked like he suffered a minor arm injury today. It appears to be minor, and Coach Flus didn't talk about it, but it is something to keep an eye on. Kmet is a potential breakout candidate this year, who I expect big things from. It was a good physical practice in pads. NFL referees were on hand and should be there for the next two practices as well. Nicholas Morrow was seen making a couple of plays today. Robert Quinn and Al-Quadin Muhammad have consistently looked good over the last few days when they are on the field. Tyler Gordon has continued getting a lot more reps in the slot, with Kendall Vildor continuing to pick up reps on the outside. To me, I think it has more to do with how important this nickel corner spot is. To me, Coach must not have been happy with Tavon Young or Thomas Graham there, so Kyler Gordon has been manning the spot a lot. Let me give some final thoughts on Roquan Smith here. First off, hang around after I make my points here. We were going to listen to what Ryan Poles said about Roquan. He seemed very upset today. He said they offered Roquan a contract that has record-breaking numbers and language in it. He seemed very disappointed that Roquan went public and talks about how his #1 priority at this point is to keep Roquan here, and he's doing what he can to get this deal completed soon. It's obviously tricky that Quan doesn't have an agent. To me, it's not about sides. I haven't really decided what side I am on yet. I just want to bring you guys a different perspective that nobody else in the media gives you. I haven't heard any other Bears media guys talk about the points I made in my video earlier today, so I just want to bring them to your attention and share my thoughts. This is a tough situation, but to me it seems clear that Ryan Poles wants to get a deal done with Roquan. It's a business at the end of the day, and to me it also seems like Roquan wants to be a Bear. This one is clearly a situation where we shouldn't overreact and just let the situation play out. Once the season starts, if Roquan isn't on the field, that is when this becomes a really big issue. Stay tuned. Let's listen to what Ryan Poles had to say.
I'll double down on what I've said before. My feelings for Roquan haven't changed at all. I think he's a very good football player. I love the kid, love what he's done on the field, which makes me really disappointed where we're at right now. I thought we'd be in a better situation, to be completely honest with you. In terms of our philosophy in the front office, I've always believed and always will be that we take care of our homegrown talent. We pay them, we take care of them, and we take care of them for what they've done and what they can become in the future. And with this situation, we've showed respect from a very early time frame. And with that said, I mean, there's record-setting pieces of this contract that I knew for a fact I thought was going to show him the respect that he deserves, and obviously that hasn't been the case. With that said, you know, we can't lose sight that this isn't about one player. My job is to build a roster that's going to sustain success for a long period of time. And at the end of the day, we got to do, you know, what's best for the Chicago Bears. So I'll take a few questions from you. I just wanted to make sure I got up. I addressed this with you. We know what's going on, and we're doing everything we can to get this done.
Ryan, is your intention to trade him as his request asks for, or do you think something can be worked out here?
Right now, my intentions are to sign Roquan to this team, and we're going to take it day by day. And at the end of the day, we got to do what's best for this organization. But my intentions are to make sure Roquan Smith's on this team.
Were you aware that it was this dire, I guess, in his mind?
It's a little bit, you know, like there's always going to be a little bit of separation, but at the same time, like for an extension, it's got to make sense for both sides. And obviously we're not at that point for him to put that out there.
Ryan, what was your reaction to his message that was shared with Ian Rappaport as far as the organization not valuing him?
Yeah, like I said, when we engaged and we brought it. And I thought there was a lot of respect in where we're at right now. That obviously that's not good enough for him and his party, but I feel like we showed respect with what we've done and showed value for who he is as a football player and what he can become.
Have the negotiations been him directly to you because he doesn't have an agent? How does that work?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. There's emotions involved, and it's tough. It's a very unique situation that we've had to deal with, and I thought we've done a pretty good job. Which again, that's why I'm a little disappointed that we're at this spot. But again, that's where we're at. Want to let you know, and if anything changes, I'll update you.
And there you have it, guys. I appreciate everyone who watched the video. I will be back tomorrow covering another practice. Only 3 more days until we are watching the Bears preseason action this Saturday. I am pumped. Be sure to hit that like button for me. Stay tuned, and until next time, bear down.